said the donation was in line with his ministry's mandate to transform the sector, starting with the young people of the Federation. He said, quote, "I made a commitment earlier this year to transform the sector, and now, given that mandated responsibility, I am under a mission of transformation. Standing here today, we see another gesture that will move that mission forward, where we are donating tools to our children through the school farm, which manages all the farms of all the schools in the country, and these tools we expect to go a long way in transforming the mindset of our young ones into a more positive mindset towards agriculture," end quote. Minister Duggan said the ministry wants to involve the youth in its quest to increase food production, enhance food security, improve the population's nutritional status, and help the Federation achieve a 25% reduction in food imports by 2025.
That's good stuff. Anything forward is good. Well, almost. Now for the weather, it's mostly sunny with a high of 86 and a low of 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Regional and international news up next. We do ask that you stay tuned.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Where are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan-American Health Organization, PAHO.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN as we continue now with the latest in regional news. Antigua Airways inaugural flight set to touch down on Independence Day. This from Antigua Observer. The historic first direct flight between Antigua and West Africa is less than a week away, with the country gearing up to observe the milestone on the day of its independence, November 1st. Despite some skepticism surrounding the initiative, the the inaugural flight of Antigua Airways, a partnership between the government and the Nigerian-based printing firm Marvelous Mike Press Limited, is scheduled to touch down at the VC Bird International Airport next Tuesday morning. Prime Minister Gaston Brown confirmed the news while addressing Barbuda MP Trevor Walker in Parliament on Monday. He said, and quote, "The information that we have had to date is that they are still on target to make their inaugural flight on November the 1st at 8:30, arriving perhaps during the period of the independence celebrations," end quote. The new airline has been touted by the government as a major investment coup for Antigua and Barbuda, with the direct link to West Africa having the potential for significant economic benefit. So kudos to Antigua and happy independence when it comes on November 1st.
I think that's a feat.
Yeah.
It's a feat indeed. All right, moving on to international news. This from the BBC. The International Energy Agency, the IEA, said the world faces its first truly global energy crisis, report says. It added that unaffordable energy bills remain a huge problem, driven up as the exports of oil and gas have been restricted. But the crisis should also be seen as a turning point, speeding up the world's transition to green energy, it said. The report warned, quote, "With unrelenting geopolitical and economic concerns, energy markets remain extremely vulnerable, and the crisis is a reminder of the fragility and unsustainability of the current global energy system. The heaviest burden is falling on poorer households where a larger share of income is spent on energy," end quote. The Paris-based agency calculated the value of government spending to protect consumers from price rises currently stands at $550 billion or 473 billion pounds worldwide, and is set to rise further, particularly in the UK and Germany. The report also said that for the first time ever, its forecasts, based on current prices and government policies, showed that global demand for every fossil fuel will either be peaking or reaching a plateau. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I was reading an article, though, that says this energy crisis will continue at least until 2024. I'm not quite sure. Could be later, but yeah.
All right, well, there you have it for the latest for today.
Who do we have coming up next, Jamie?
You tell me.
Today we have Pamela Armstrong, and she continues the talk on breast cancer. We also have Dale Morton. It's Friday, so it's Caribbean Connection, so you have to stay tuned, and there is so much more. So myself and Jamie, we will see you after this short break. Stay tuned.
I going out tonight. I got a hot date. He older than me, but I don't care. I like what he telling me. He say I look sweet and ting. What? You want me go home with him? Nice. Boy, I wonder if I'm ready for this. I notice he ain't got a condom, but I gonna go ahead, see? He might think me ain't like him or trust him. Plus, this my first time. Nothing gonna happen to me. Lord, how could I let this happen? I ain't ready for no child. Who can support me and my child? My man gone jail and mommy and daddy said they ain't gonna help. I all on my own. How could I be so careless? I wish I could go back to that now, but my education on hold. How could I let this happen? Don't let this happen to you. Contact the Department of Gender Affairs to find out about confidential offices and personnel available to answer questions about your sexuality or pre- or postnatal concerns.
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I coming Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, don't want to run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Celebrating breast cancer awareness all month long this October. And even though there are only 4 days left in the month, we are not done yet. Today we will be speaking with Pamela Armstrong, the president of Essence of Hope Breast Cancer Foundation. She will share with us details about the activities they've held thus far for the month and their Pink Walk event, which will be held tomorrow, October 29th. Good morning, Pamela. Welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Our pleasure indeed. Please give us an overview of the activities the foundation has held thus far for this month.
Okay, well, I'm going to start. We started, I think it's in June.
Okay.
We had a cocktail.
June.
Yeah, we tried to alternate with a gala or a cocktail,
Okay.
but the pandemic came through. So we were on pause.
Okay.
So this year we came back and we had a cocktail at the Marriott, which was wonderful.
Lovely.
Because I think people were dying to get back out, you know, so
Indeed.
we had that. And from then we had a few radio shows, radio talk shows. Yeah, we do that. This is the month and, you know, we all come down to October. And in terms of events, we are just trying to ease back in from the pandemic.
Okay.
So we try not to put a lot of burden on the public
Okay.
in terms of funds.
Okay.
Even though we need it,
Yes.
we try not to. But one of our great event that we had was Ask the Doctor.
Okay.
And we had that, yes, we do that every year. So we had that on, so they say, TV.
Okay.
And that's an annual thing that we do. So we just had that 2 weeks ago, and it was very good, really informative.
Nice.
And we look forward for that. I mean, we had Powerhouse first women. We had Dr. Woodley, first surgeon. Dr. Tate, first oncologist. Dr. Clark, first radiologist. And breast cancer thriver. So it was just a powerhouse of women. Lots of information. So that was good. And then we did church services, and we're still doing it. Okay. And then tomorrow, which is the biggest of all, is our Walk for the Cause.
Okay.
I call it Race for Life.
Okay.
Walkathon. And that's tomorrow morning at 5:30. And that is always, other than the gala, always our major event. Okay.
Well, you seem to have been very busy for an important cause.
Very, very, very busy. Believe me, very busy. Yes. And this is just, I call this year a very light year because, like I said, the pandemic. So this is the first year coming back, full bloom. So it's still light. But usually it's every week. Yes, every week. We have to be on the go. Sometimes 3 times per week. We have to be ready. Yes.
It's a very important cause, so I totally understand.
I know, and you have to ask God for a little energy because you get tired.
Well, that's why you keep going to church.
I like that.
Exactly.
All right, so what I want to know about is the breast and health screenings that were held on October 8th.
Yes.
What was the turnout like? Was it as anticipated?
On October 8th for the screening, we did not do the breast. We did, like the hypertension, the diabetes, those kind of things. Because according to the doctors, because we were in the square, we could not expose to, and something about the heat. Yeah. So we didn't know. Okay. So that was a change. Okay. So we had to go, the regular.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you spoke about the big walk that we're going to have tomorrow. So would persons have to register for the walk, or can you just come and join in the walk?
You had to register.
Okay.
I knew it. I didn't want to spin. You had to register, but registration closed. Something we started this year for the very first time.
Okay.
Is registration, because my house was really the production center.
Okay.
Still is. But registration was cut off on Sunday.
Okay.
So it's back to my house. But you do have to register to walk, because we like to keep a track, of everything. But you have to register. I mean, we prefer you register. So yes, today is the last call.
Okay.
For registration. We will not do it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
We did in the past, and it's just a nightmare to do that and prepare.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yes.
So today is the last call, and may I say we are going to be the Newtown Playfield opposite the Newtown Playfield. That's where you could register today and pick up your shirts.
Okay. So where they normally play football?
Yes, opposite of there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you guys will have a tent and everything?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And our feather banners, so you can't miss Essence of Hope.
Okay.
You
No
see the sign.
Well, I want to talk about the Ask the Doctor program that you mentioned.
Yes.
If you could give us some more insight as to some of the topics that were discussed, some of the questions that were asked that might have been a little more common.
It's all about breast.
Okay.
It's all about breast. And people wanted to know a lot of the myths and the truths. And some of the questions were, you wouldn't believe it, is breast cancer contagious? Yes, because some people think that. That's why we choose the theme this year, awareness is power. Because if you don't know, then you will be bombarded with all these, I call it foolish things because contagious? No. Even to get a mammogram, people thought that when you go to get a mammogram and, the machine, you can pick up breast cancer from the machine. So it's a lot of things. And the doctors, like Dr. Woodley, she's a surgeon, and she, would explain, you go get your mammogram, which is at Dr. Clark's office or Dr. Hodge's office, and they would pick up whatever film, dark spot, and send it off. No, get it tested, send it off. And then that's coming from the mammogram. And then you would see Dr. Woodley. Now, if it's cancerous, so these were all explained. So we go from one to the next to the next. If it's cancerous, then here comes the oncologist, which is Dr. Tate.
Yes.
you know, and then Dr. Tate would, you know, walk you through what kind of treatment you need. So, and then we had the thriver. She does not like to be called a survivor, a thriver.
Yeah.
And from Dr. Woodley, from Dr. Tate, then you had the thriver who walked you through what she went through in terms of treatment. You know, so it was a lot, and it is a lot to take in. It is a lot to take in. One thing that I think we're going to try next is the family, the caretakers, because they get the bulk of that.
Okay.
And that's something that we need to stress on, is to bring light to caretakers.
That's very
because
important.
very important. A lot of them still don't even know how to take care of. And that goes in terms of your emotional being. You know, how do I take care of you, still smile
Yeah.
while you're going through this? You know, so it's a lot. It's a lot. This cancer thing, it's a lot. And it's draining also on everyone in terms of your pocket too.
Yes.
It's so,
Yeah.
it's everything is wrong about this disease, just wrong.
But we're grateful that the Essence of Hope Foundation is there to shed light, spread awareness,
Yes,
and of course
yes.
provide that most important word, hope.
Hope.
We'll be back to speak with you on the other side of this break. Stay tuned, everyone.
Good afternoon. And to what do I owe the pleasure of your visit today?
Good afternoon. After finding a lump, I visited the health center to see a nurse, and she found a lump as well. Doc, do you think this is the big C? I shouldn't have cancer. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Nobody in my family has ever had cancer.
Slow down, not so fast. Not every lump of the breast is cancerous. The breast goes through a number of changes. It can be a piece of fatty tissue or some other non-cancerous lump of the breast. Either way, I'll have to examine you first to make sure.
Okay. I did not know I was supposed to examine my breast myself.
Yes, the self-breast examination is very revealing. It is the first step in diagnosis. It is important to self-examine your breasts once monthly after you've had your period. That way, you would know how your normal, healthy breasts feel and be able to detect any changes early. If any abnormality is detected, there are more defining tests such as the ultrasound and/or mammogram.
Mammogram? No, I've heard that mammogram thing hurts badly.
I'm sure that most of what you've heard about the mammograms are exaggerated encounters. Here's the referral. Take it to the facility. Before the exam begins, you will have to fill out a short pre-test questionnaire. Let the doctor know if there's a possibility of pregnancy. Leave jewelry at home and wear loose, comfortable clothing. Don't wear deodorant, talcum powder, or lotion under your arms or on your breasts, as these may appear on the mammogram and interfere with correct diagnosis. During the exam, each breast is compressed horizontally between two plates for imaging, and then diagonally for further imaging as needed. So how was the experience?
It's not what I expected. My teenage sister found a lump in her breast. Should she get a mammogram too?
All lumps of the breast and changes should be investigated. A mammogram is recommended once a year for every woman aged 40 and over, even younger if there's a family history.
Oh, gee. Women have to endure a lot.
Men have to check their breasts too.
Yeah.
Yes, some men do get breast cancer too. So remember, get checked today. Early detection saves lives.
We are continuing our discussion with Pamela Armstrong, the president of the Essence of Hope Breast Cancer Foundation. And Pamela, I've always wondered about the origin of the Essence of Hope in terms of the title. So I understand that there's an interesting story to tell us about the naming of the foundation.
Yes, it is. I know that the foundation was going to be started.
Okay.
There was no name. What were we going to name this, or what was I going to name this foundation? And at the time, I was not living here. I was living abroad and getting ready to move back home. And I didn't know what is going to be the name of this group. What is going to be the name of this group? And lo and behold, I was, maybe around this time in the morning, I was laying in bed and I sat up because there was a commercial on and there was a candle and it was lit and it had hope something. And I was like, hope, that's one word. But it must have something in front of hope. And a light bulb went off in my head. Essence of hope. Up. Here we are 13 years later.
13, congrats.
Thank you. So we are a teenager this year.
Lovely, I like it.
Yes.
So what was the motivation behind starting such a foundation?
Oh, I'm going to smile through it. It's so many of my girlfriends that got diagnosed and they didn't make it. And I think now that I'm on my toes, maybe I'm past my fingers, so I'm down to my toes. And these were all in the States where I worked. And it seems as though every job that I went to and I befriended someone, later on they'll tell me I'm diagnosed with breast cancer. So I went through that. And then I had a very, very, very close friend of mine. Her name was Annette Jenkins, in Jenkins Funeral Home, the daughter of. And she was my very good friend, and she was diagnosed. And where I was working at the time, my co-worker that sits right across from my cubicle, she was also diagnosed. So I had Annette here and my friend. So both were going through at the same time. So I would, transfer information from one to the other, and then Annette passed. And Wendy passed shortly after. Then I got a transfer to Atlanta, not knowing that the position that I was going to fill for that person was also diagnosed with breast cancer stage 4. So it was like, why is this thing following me? Why is this following me? And I keep going to all these walks. As soon as someone passed or diagnosed, I was going to all these walks because I thought, that's my way of giving back. And when Annette passed, I went to Atlanta. Shirley passed. Her name was Shirley. She passed. And I said, I've got to do more than walking. I've got to do something. And the only way to do something is in my country. So at the time, the Honorable Marcella Lippert was the Minister of Health. And I reached out to her, and we started talking. And she said, great idea. And I came home, and we put everything together. And I got members. I got, girls that I know, and guys, too.
Yes.
And we just formed Essence of Hope. And here we are. Yes, and that's where we started. So all this is in remembrance of them.
I was about to ask you, about that, whether you find this to be not only therapeutic, but speaking to their legacy somewhat.
Yes, yes. It was very hard at first, but as the years go by, and for me, like tomorrow, that's when I, start getting the little goosebumps, and I feel really, really, really good to see it started out just 400 people, and now we are over 1,800, hoping tomorrow is 2,000. Yes, yes. So, and that's why I saw the candle, hope. Essence of hope. Yes. So, I feel really good when I see people on this movement. It used to be a walk, but I call it a movement now because there's so many people, so it had to become a movement. It's no more a walk, it's a movement. And what we're trying to do is help to save life, help, bring awareness to this disease.
So how can general public, anyone in general, support the foundation?
They can support any day of the year by, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on all those social media platforms. They can call me, they can call Dr. Marcus Natter. He is our PRO or VP. So, he's very popular now. So they can reach him through cabinet too. Yes. And anything you want to, give, we are welcome because people never stop coming.
Good stuff.
They never stop coming. And one of the things that when we started, I said, it does not matter. Even if it's $1, we will not turn anyone back.
Exactly.
No one turns back. Whether it's the grocery bill we're going to pay or some kind of utility bill, we will help.
Yeah.
You know, so, and we've been doing very well. I guess God is on our side because sometimes the money looks like it's going down because, you know, we haven't done, you know, much fundraisers, but for some reason, someone or someone, bodies show up and, you know, would say, this is to help. This is to help. So, thank God, we're doing wonderful. We're able to help.
Okay.
And we continue to help. Yes.
Tutus and tall socks for tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
Tell us about that.
It has become, the tutus and tall socks has become this big thing in the States, in North America. It has become this big thing.
Okay.
Even, I think the men took it over.
Okay.
Because you're seeing all these pictures with the men.
With their tutus around there. Yeah, just for fun. Just for
fun.
I feel like you're visualizing me.
It's really for fun. Yes. You know, this and it must be some kind of laughter at the end of all of this. You just can't be, you know, too serious.
Yes.
So we decided that we will do the tutu and tall socks here. And it's working out. I don't know if any men are going to do that in St. Kitts. I really don't know. You know how men are here, so I doubt it. But the ladies, you know, they're ready. Yes. Tomorrow. Yes.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to see all of it.
Yes.
Maybe one.
I'm sure a few guys for the fun of it will come out in some.
And I remember, I remember a few years ago, maybe the pandemic, maybe 3-4 years ago, we introduced men in heels. We wanted to do it this year, but it's too many things going on. And we introduced men in heels, and we did that on Bank Street. It was a hit.
It was
oh my goodness. Listen, men in heels, think about it. Men wearing heels.
Yes, and trying to walk in there.
And try to walk in there. It was really, really funny. And we had, you know, radio hosts and we had celebrities. Yes, wearing heels. And it was for a good cause. It was really, really, really for a good cause. And we had a good time.
Did
people turn out like crazy.
Appearance? Did Bose of the Clown show up? I'm joking.
You want to know Bose of the Clown?
I love your energy, by the way.
Listen, next year, God's willing, we will have men in heels, and you will be getting an invitation. Okay? So I'm letting you know that, and you will not turn it down.
Wow. I know better than to argue, Camilla.
Yeah.
So you want.
All right, so very quickly, remind us again of the Pink Walk Tomorrow registration location and recommended attire.
Okay. Tomorrow is our 13th walk for the cause Race for Life. And today is the last day for registration, so we call it last call. And we will be located opposite of the Newtown Playfield. And of course, you'll see the federal banners that says Essence of Hope. And we'll register. You can pick up your shirts there, and also for online registration. Some of you have not picked up your shirts yet, so they can pick it up there today. And the walk starts at 5:30 in the morning, not 5:36. You'll have to play catch up. 5:30, they turn off because you try to fight that sun by the bank.
Where does the walk leave from? The Newtown playing field as well? Or?
No, the walk starts off from the Best Buy parking lot.
Okay.
And you have a warm-up.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a personal trainer that...
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, we pray first. Well, not me, on the other side of Figure Bay.
Okay.
Taking care of things. Okay. And there's a warm-up, prayer, warm-up, and go.
Yes.
And you do that 5-mile walk.
Okay.
To Figure Bay. And if you are a exercise fanatic, it's nothing to you, but you should see people really struggling, but they're doing it because...
For a good cause.
For a cause.
Yes.
And, you know, someone they remember, someone they love, someone who passed away, someone who's suffering.
Yes.
So, yes.
All right.
So I'm looking forward to see everybody tomorrow on another walk.
Okay. Pamela, it was indeed our pleasure talking to you. You made it fun, and And next year, I'm so excited and looking forward to next year already.
Yes,
All right.
yes, yes.
So thanks for coming in and
Thank you
educating
for
us
having
and
me.
our viewers. And we'll talk again sometime soon.
Yes. We're keeping the invitation for Men in Heels.
Yes. All right. GMSKN Nation, stay tuned. Much more.
Has anyone ever touched you here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children, settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes!
Mommy, Uncle not here and the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, Uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami a come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. Let me run, see Sammy.
Consuming excess salt can lead to heart attack, high blood pressure, and even stroke, and other health-related conditions such as kidney disease.
Has anyone ever touched you here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization. Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
Earlier this year, we featured Dale Morton, a student recruiter at the University of the Virgin Islands. Today, we welcome him back to tell us about his visit to the Federation. Welcome back home.
Thank you so much.
And secondly, welcome to Studio 327. Last time we talked, it was virtually.
Yes, sir.
So it's great to have you in studio. So about your trip back home, what was the purpose of it?
Okay, the School of Business decided to come and do a follow-up on an initial visit by Dr. Esdale and Professor Francisco Deposua. Both of them are St. Kitts nationals, and they work at the university for a long time. Well, Professor Deposua, a long time, and he's an alum. And they came and they made an initial visit and spoke with certain businesses and so forth. And what they were doing was trying to find out how we can better meet the needs of certain institutions and so forth here. And also look into the possibilities of these local businesses here having internships offered to our students who are presently at UBI, who have difficulty getting to do their internships there because when you're on a student visa, you don't have permission to work. So the number of opportunities on the campus, you can work on campus or at the university. But with the number of students and so forth, most of the time we have more of a demand. And then also a lot of the students return for the summer. And so they're here for 2 or 3 months and they work, but they still lack their 2 credit hours of internship required for the degree. So we were able to have discussions with, and when I say we, because we brought a team of 18. We had discussions with National Bank, First Federal Credit Union, Digicel, Flow, the Cable, National Bank Group, TDC Group. I hope I've not left out any of the businesses.
Calling a lot of heavy hitters.
Yes, and so forth. So, we explained what is involved. We left the packages with them and so forth. And then we also did recruitment exercises as well. So we met with the students at the Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College and at the Sixth Form College in Nevis. And we are hoping to get results of that. But those are the businesses, okay? And the higher education institutions. But on both islands, we met with the Ministry of Education here in St. Kitts. And yesterday we met with the Ministry of Education and the Nevis Island Administration. And also, this wasn't planned, but it was an impromptu after they heard about the new School of Agriculture and so forth at UVI. There was a meeting also with the Ministry of Agriculture and the PS. So the minister and the PS, we had a meeting. So it has been a very, very successful trip. And I don't know if you all know, but it's a very challenging time of late to get to come from the Virgin Islands to St. Kitts.
Yes, I can understand.
And there's 1 flight a week on the commercial airlines, and you have to go from St. Thomas down to Barbados, then to Dominica here. That's if you come on the regional airline.
Yeah.
And then if you come on the US airline, it's only Fridays, St. Thomas, Puerto Rico here, and then you have to wait till the other Friday. So the university really invested a lot in this trip because what happened is that we had to charter 2 different planes, and so one charter left this morning. Another one is going to leave at 9:30. And I am on the 1 o'clock charter this afternoon.
Well, we're really grateful that you're here speaking.
Thanks. And that's why my response to the request was so delayed, because at first I said, should I do it? I said, I think that's going to be hectic, but I'm happy and I wanted to get the word out.
Yes.
Okay? And so we are looking for the new generation of students to come to the institution. And what I would plead to the young ones, please take the opportunity. You never know what is going to happen as a result.
Yes.
At the university, in this group of 18, we have, like I said, Dr. Esdale and Professor Depossois. Both of them are from St. Kitts. We had Dr. Paul Fleming, who is originally from Nevis. And then we had other professors, the chair of the dean of the School of Business. Her parents are from St. Kitts, but she was born in St. Thomas. Okay. We have the chair of the Communications and Performing Arts, Dion Parson. His parents were born in St. Kitts, his mother. And so he came here many times during the summer and spent the whole summer. As a matter of fact, his nephew is the ADC to the Prime Minister, and so forth. So we had a good representation. But to get back to the point, make sure you take the opportunity. And I would like to expose some basic information for our nationals. Once you or your parents are planning to send your child to any U.S. institution, make sure you start planning ahead, especially with the finances, because you have to indicate to the embassy, well, even before you reach the embassy part, to the school, in order to get the I-20 form which you take to the embassy, you have to indicate to them that you have $36,000 set aside, ready to use. That is the minimum. No, that's not tuition. That is what you have to present to the embassy for them, yes, for them to grant you, yes. Okay? And so many times people don't reach that hurdles. So, you know, that's why I say start talking to your parents, your relatives, and so forth. So whoever is going to be sponsoring you to be able to show that you have $36,000 in the bank.
When we come back from the break, we're going to pick up on that point and some of the others that you mentioned about the meetings that you held here. So more with Dale Morton in a moment, everyone. Stay tuned.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
It's Infused Friday. Welcome to today's recipe. But before we get into that, let me give you some information about the benefits of H2O. Infused water adds more to your H2O. It not only gives you the same refreshed feeling that water does, but it adds flavor and nutritional benefits. Adding different combinations of herbs, fruits, and spices to your water can lead to endless combinations that are not only delicious, but extremely good for you. Helping to control bloating, because you know many women suffer from bloating due to excess salt or hormonal fluctuation. Water-rich foods such as lemon and cucumber can help control this problem. How does this link into relaxation? Well, if you infuse your drink with herbs that are linked to relaxation such as sage, this often helps. What are the benefits of anti-aging? Well, if you add dark berries and pomegranate seeds, which are rich in antioxidants, this can help protect against the effects of aging. Let's talk about metabolism. Many fruits can boost your metabolism and help with weight loss, so be sure to add in your raspberries, strawberries, tangerines, and any other delicious fruit. Now, let's move on to the recipe for this Friday, which is watermelon and lemon mint. Ingredients: 1 small cup of watermelon pieces, 1 large lemon sliced, and a handful of fresh mints. Now for the directions, very simple. You just need a pitcher and add 1 small cup of watermelon sliced, 1 large lemon sliced, and a handful of fresh mint. Muddle ingredients and fill pitcher with ice water, and you're good to go. Add more to your H2O. Check out the Facebook page every Friday for refreshing infused water recipes.
And my niece and
We're
nephew.
back with Dale Modern, student recruiter at the University of the Virgin Islands. So Dale, I know your trip wasn't all business. You recently had a reception for the alumni of the University of the West Indies here in St. Kitts. Can you tell us?
University of the Virgin Islands.
Virgin Islands here in St. Kitts.
Yes, we don't want to get our signals crossed. We kind of had that discussion a little while ago.
Can you tell us a bit about that?
Okay, we had a reception last evening, and we had a fairly good turnout. For me personally, I was a little disappointed that we did not have as many of the longer time graduates. Okay, because like it's 39 years ago I graduated. So I only saw 2 from that era.
Okay.
And 1, the former Deputy Prime Minister, Hugh Heidegger, who has since sent and had there last night. Is either 2 or 3 daughters were there, with the last one just graduating this year with her applied maths degree. And she did the 3-year, 2-year program in engineering. So she's a chemical engineer. So what that program is that you attend the University of the Virgin Islands and you gather and collect 3 years of credits towards the applied mathematics degree.
Okay.
After that, you transfer to either University of South Florida, Cornell University, I am forgetting the third one. But that's an arrangement where we have that is seamless. And so when they graduate with their engineering degree at the end of those 5 years total, they get a degree in engineering from that school. So she got in May her degree in chemical engineering from University of South Florida. And at the same time, she got a degree from the University of the Virgin Islands in applied maths. And we have many of those kind of programs, and we also have the early admissions program with the Boston University for medical school. Unfortunately, it is only for American citizens. You asked me off here a question about financial aid. Our students from St. Kitts Nevis who come on a student visit do not qualify for the US government's financial aid. However, 10 years ago, the university renewed the memorandum of understanding between the college here at the CFBC and the one in Sixth Form in Nevis, where we wanted them to commit to send a certain number of students a year. And in return for that, we changed the fee structure for the tuition only. When students come from the mainland or any foreign place, their tuition is exactly 3 times what the residents of the Virgin Islands pay. So if they come from New York or whatever, they pay 3 times the amount. So beforehand, so you're coming from St. Kitts, you're paying 3 times the tuition, and then you have to pay 2.7 to convert your money. So it's almost like 9 times. So the government and the local government here in St. Kitts Nevis and the university negotiated a reduction in the rate for the tuition. So students who now come from St. Kitts, so in a sense that is a financial aid.
Yes.
Those students who now come from St. Kitts pay 1.75 times the amount of the local resident instead of the 3. So that is a significant saving for the tuition. The room and board is the same thing for every student, foreign or local. Once you're going to live on campus and you're going to be eating the meals, it's the same price. However, like I say, the emphasis is making sure that you have that money, because even if you are coming on a full scholarship, you, the individual, your parents or your organization still has to show that $36,000 available in order just to get the visa. And I think that's why our students do so well when they come, because they know that a lot of money has been invested in them, and we have had a real good track of students. And that's why I was so pleased really to see so many of them last night and to learn about the various positions they hold in this community. And in many of the instances when we went to the businesses and we met with officials, in many, many instances you had an alum there present. Yesterday when we were meeting with the Sixth Form College students, the National Bank in Nevis, the manager of the National Bank in Nevis, she came to see her old professors and everything, and she's a graduate of UVI. When we went to the first credit union, one of the persons in there was, I think she's the human resource director or manager, whatever the term is, UVI alum. Penny Sinclair Hodge for TDC Automotive, I think he's the second in command there. He is actually the alumni chapter president here in St. Kitts. And J.D. Keynes, who I don't remember what her position is, but I think she's also a political aspirant in Nevis. She's a UVI alum.
You're beaming with pride just talking about.
Yes, it gives me great pleasure to talk about the impact. I am honored to be on the trip as well, because it just shows the level of respect that the administration has in me too. Because in most instances, nearly all of the persons are persons with the doctorate and so forth, but my dean chose me to come. And that's because he knew I would do a good job.
Well, you know what? This is the second time that we've been talking to you about UVI, and I would say the first interview went well. This one again, glad you're here in the flesh. Same thing, Dale.
Thank
Doing
you.
a very good job. It's an honor to finally meet you. And thank you for coming and sharing with us all about the recruitment drive at UVI and what UVI is doing as well to the benefit.
And I would like to share my email.
Please do. That camera is yours.
Okay, my email address is dmorton@uvi.edu. Any student who has an interest attending the University of the Virgin Islands, please to email me. I am supposed to specifically recruit for the School of Agriculture, but I have been doing recruiting at the university in an unofficial manner for well over 25 years. And please do reach out to me. I will help you. I help many, many students once they arrive, and I know they're from the Federation. I help to walk them through and put them in the right places, because I want to see more and more of our students continue to go places. Also, we had last night at the reception, the newest Deputy Prime Minister, Sean Richards, there as well. That's another UVI alum. We had Ambassador Emery beforehand, before he passed, one of our, again, famous alums as well. So UVI has had quite an impact in this federation. And those members of the team, out of the 18 who never knew about the impact that UVI has had in this region, were very, very, very surprised and pleased to realize how well UVI is regarded.
Right.
And I came from the time when I left to go to the College of the Virgin Islands, the government never used to recognize the degrees from the College of the Virgin Islands.
So that's a great thing that we're doing that now. Absolutely right. Just a word of correction, Sean Richards, the former Deputy Prime Minister.
Yes.
Right. All right. So we'll be back with more Good Morning SKN. Thank you so much, Dale, again.
Thank you, sir. All right. A pleasure. And a pleasure meeting you.
Same here.
Back in a moment with more GMS SKN. Stay tuned.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Where are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
It's time for us to loosen up. Yeah. Today we'll be taking a trip down memory lane and reminiscing about some old apps that once kept us glued to our phone screen. Let us know in the comments if you remember any of these apps. So Jamie, we will begin. Dun dun dun. The koi pond.
I'm going to let you know in the comments whether I know any of these things. 'Cause right now I don't know any koi ponds. So you want to see a comment from me come up? Is that what we're going to do here now? Can I do that? Seriously? Because you're talking about
the
old
wallpaper
apps
with the
and
koi pond? That's what we're talking about.
That's so very nice. I don't know what you're talking about.
And the only one I think I don't remember is the touch hockey, but I do remember the koi pond. This. Like it used to be.
I don't know what you're talking about. Fish, as far as I'm concerned, deserve to be eaten. That's it.
I don't think I could eat kois. They're too pretty.
Koi pond.
Yeah.
Not working.
Oh, that was so
remember
cute.
that, so
yeah, I
that's-
remember the koi pond. I don't remember the touch hockey though. For some strange reason, I don't remember the touch hockey. I can't speak
What's
to
fascinating about the koi pond, though? What is it?
just the
Colors?
fact that the colors and the fishes were moving around sometimes.
Oh, they were moving around?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like mesmerizing. And you know, everywhere you go, people put, well, most in the Caribbean, like Hyatt have the koi pond. We have a hotel in Anguilla that have an ex-koi pond. You know, the koi in the pond just give you this sort of peace, you know?
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yes.
Now I know.
In Grenada, in the mall, in the middle of the Spice Mall, there's a koi pond. Oh my God. Then there's a overarch, so you walk over. It's just beautiful. Yeah.
And apparently on your phone there was a koi pond, but it wasn't on mine. That's fine.
In the Grand Etang too. They have some big kois up there in Grenada. Yeah.
I see. All right.
Just a koi.
There we go. Touch hockey.
OTI had the koi pond too. Even in their revamp, when they revamped, they had a koi pond too. Yeah. I know this game, like when you play it on the board, but I don't know it on the phone. I don't remember it on the phone. Let me say that.
Yeah, I don't remember it either.
No.
To be honest with you.
But I know we can play that on the table.
Yeah, apparently when you guys had cell phones, I probably still had a landline. Yeah, you know what that is? Exactly. Or the one without the apps, you know, that one that you used to walk around with, the very first one that
You remember the snake? On the first set of cell phone, the Nokia?
The snake? No, I don't even remember that.
Eating the ball. You don't remember the snake?
I think I do now that you say that. And that's not even there. So apparently what they term old, we're actually older than old because, well, at least I am, because you remember some of these things. I don't know. You don't. So, hey, touch hockey though. Like you, definitely with the board.
Yes.
Not so much
Not the phone.
with the app.
Yes, indeed. Now you got to remember Temple Run. No, you don't remember Temple Run?
I have to remember Temple Run,
Yeah,
really.
because when the guy got killed, he was like, oh. I swear my nephew still plays it to watch that guy get beat up. Because this game is still relevant. The fact that my 4-year-old nephew plays it is still relevant.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was like a Prince of Persia type guy on the PC, so apps on phones like this.
Yeah.
Probably similar concept, but...
See, the monkeys attack him. He get knocked out by big rolling logs. He's like, oh, every time.
And this was on the phone again.
Yeah, this is on the phone.
Yeah,
this was one of the newest game. This was after the Snake, because the Snake came out on the first heavy clunky Motorola and Nokia cell phones that we had. The Snake going round and round eating the ball. So this came after when we get the more huge, fancier cell phones, the flips.
That's nice. I'm going to age myself here and tell you that I'm one of those people who believe that telephones were used to make calls, not so much play games. At least earlier, right? So, yeah. Honestly, once I got a phone that was able to do that, I was fine. That was it.
Yeah. You don't remember Tom? You feed Tom, you bathe Tom. Tom tells you that he's hungry.
I don't think I like Tom. No, I don't remember Tom. No.
Yeah, Tom is still a hit on the tablet for some kids because some kids have him downloaded. They dress him up, they bathe him, they annoy him. They feed him too often. Yeah.
Really?
They feed him too often and...
Isn't that considered animal abuse? I'm kidding, by the way.
No, he got to bathe. He got to smell good.
Okay, yeah. You see those?
Imagine they bathe him, they powder him, they put him in clothes, they do all kind of things.
I want to see somebody throw a cat into a bathtub running water.
Boy, that cat will hold on for dear
Yeah,
life.
I think I tried it a couple of times. It didn't work out so well. All right, yeah. I just did it for the fun of it. Hey, that was fun, actually.
Yeah.
It's actually more fun, I suspect, than my talking Tom.
Yeah. I don't actually remember.
You don't remember that?
Angry Birds.
Angry Birds?
No.
But
I know the movie.
Yeah, of course you remember.
But I don't know that. I don't know.
What I remember about Angry Birds is that it was a really good way to make money because it was cheap and everybody was downloading it, and it was like the cheapest thing that you could get possibly. But so many people were downloading it. Hey, it was a hit. It was a hit. Honestly, I was like, I want to create an app like that. Hey, I'm gonna charge you $1 for it. It's gonna work great. I'm still waiting on that, but I might be getting ideas as I look around the studio. So
exactly, maybe you can revamp Angry Birds.
No, I wouldn't revamp. I would create my own. Seriously.
Yeah, but I don't remember Angry Birds as a game. The only game that touches me is Temple Run because it's still relevant. Yeah.
Guys, I literally just got an idea for an app, and I'm looking around the studio, seeing such creative minds. Yeah. I'm gonna call it something. I'm going to talk to you guys after, We're going to see if we can create the Angry Bird 2.0 generation, which wouldn't actually be an Angry Bird.
Somebody's going to get rich.
I don't know. It depends on how many people buy it. And our dollar is, what it is relative to the U.S.
Somebody's out to make some money.
Forget the Angry Bird. How about Flappy? Hey, Flappy.
You remember Flappy?
Of course I don't remember Flappy.
Oh, you made it so believable. I don't know Flappy.
Oh, really?
To be honest, I don't know Flappy the bird.
Apparently birds sell. So, if it isn't angry, it's going to be Flappy.
It's going to be Flappy.
What did Flappy do? I don't know. Well, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, what did Flap?
Yeah, I suppose.
So maybe he had to fly away from his nemesis. So you had to make sure you have his wings flapping. Flappy, remind me, you remember when everybody had a gigapet? You remember Gigapet Era Man?
No.
You gotta remember Gigapet Era.
Really?
We had our Gigapets on our bags in school, feeding it.
You had your Gigapet.
Everybody had a Gigapet. Even the fifth formers, I swore, had Gigapets.
Yeah, not me. Nuh-uh. Not a Gigapet kind of guy.
You were a fourth former when I was a third former, and you don't remember having a Gigapet.
No, at all. No remembrance of that whatsoever.
Oh my God.
All I know is that those lips, however, hey, they remind me of a person that I see on television. I will name no names.
Daffy?
No, I said a person, Cortensia. Ever watch those reality shows? You see those lips? Oh my God. There you go.
Just shade.
It's not shade, it's accurate. I'm sure that somebody got the idea from that. It's just literally looking like that.
Oh, to do the lips or duck lips?
I guess.
I can't even do duck lips because I don't got plenty lips. So
Angry Birds and Flappy Birds and My Talking Tom and Temple Run and Touch Hockey and Koi Pond. Great. I remember none of these things.
Oh, wow.
I remember handheld things, the Game Boy, the Knight Rider.
And your Game Boy didn't have Temple Run on it?
My Game Boy,
No.
probably not.
Not even the new ones had Temple Run on it?
I don't remember that at all. If I tell you what I used to play on my mom's PC, and I'm talking about those, you see those PCs that you see when you look back at like those movies from the 90s and 80s? Those gigantic cathode ray tube type, monitors and so on. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What game did you play on that PC, kind sir? I would like to know.
There was a game that involved this guy being abducted by aliens, and literally I would control him with the arrows and so on, which was really kind of cool because we used to hide out, and then you used to see the alien come down and used to be in the room and all these things, and it's like really cool. I was fascinated by that. Of course, I was about 10, 11, 12 at the time, so that fascinated me. As I got older, not so much.
No, not so much. So what would be your game of choice now? Do you still have one of those handhelds?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
My game of choice is Scrabble. That's it.
Oh, Scrabble. Okay.
Anything that gets me to learn. Boring stuff, but hey, it is what it is.
All right.
Yeah, not exciting, is it? All right. So here we. All right, guys. So we will be back in a moment. We've taken the trip down memory lane. We've talked about the forgotten apps, and in other cases, the apps that some of us didn't remember at all because we just didn't know them. Yeah. In any event, hopefully you remember it. If you did, leave us a comment. Let us know what it is that jogged your memory.
Yes.
We'll be back in a second with more Good Morning SKN. Stay tuned.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am salt smart.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Hi, if you are a smoker, please pay attention to this message. According to the World Health Organization, there are 1.3 billion smokers in the world today, and tobacco kills 1 out of every 2 smokers. Did you know that there is enough nicotine in 5 cigarettes to kill an average adult if ingested whole? There are more than 7,000 chemicals in tobacco smoke, of which more than 250 are known to be harmful. More than 69 are known to cause cancer, and 16 are classified as Group 1 carcinogens. Smoking kills. Are you ignoring that warning every time you smoke? Please stop. Smoking can lead to severe health complications and even death. It affects almost every organ in the body, especially the lungs and heart. It raises blood pressure, increases blood clots, and increases the risk of stroke, heart attack, and cancer. It is hard to quit smoking, but it is not impossible. Don't let tobacco destroy you. Remember the 4 Ds to curb your tobacco cravings. 1. Delay. Set a time limit before you decide to smoke. 2. Drink water. Go get a drink before you do anything else. 3. Do something else. Have a goodie bag handy of other things to do. And 4. Deep breathing. Take at least 10 deep breaths every time you think about smoking. Quit smoking and live a longer and happier life. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, St. Kitts and Nevis.
Good morning, SKN. Good morning, Caribbean. Welcome to Caribbean Connections, the special guest of GMSKN, special segment, rather, of GMSKN, where we connect with our Caribbean neighbors. And I can't wait to get to the guests. That's why I'm so excited about it. So this Friday's connection comes from Helen, the Helen of the West Indies, St. Lucia.
Yeah.
And for today's Caribbean Connections, we have Raisa Joseph, the director of the Folklore Research Center of St. Lucia, to tell us about the Creole Festival. And I am going to botch this pronunciation. Please feel free to correct me. Journée Creole. Hopefully I said it correctly. Mrs. Joseph, we know that you are very, very busy and definitely in high demand, especially around this time.
Yes.
So we do want to thank you for joining us for another edition of GMSKN and Caribbean Connections. And we'll start by asking you to share with our viewers what, there it is again, Journée Creole is. First of all, am I saying it correctly? And secondly, can you tell us what it is? I didn't think I was.
Research Center in St. Lucia, we celebrate Journée Creole, usually on the Sunday closest to the international celebration, which is today, the 28th of October. The celebration of Creole heritage, not just on Journée Creole, but an entire month in October for St. Lucia, dubbed Mois Héritage Creole, Creole Heritage Month, is rooted in the first of the Monsignor Patrick Anthony Folk Research Center's aim of preserving culture, celebrating culture, and centering culture in national development. On Journée Creole, we have host communities who display not just traditional foods and dress and ways of life, but also host a range of demonstrations in the manufacturing of St. Lucian crafts, the way in which persons would have sawed wood and done a lot of traditional practices in times gone by. So the aim is to ensure that we do not forget who we are and where we come from, and that we come out as a community to celebrate together.
Nice, nice. So tell us about how the St. Lucia Creole Festival came to be.
Well, we do not dub it as much as a festival, but it emerged truly in 1983 through the Creole movement, where the aim was not just to celebrate Creole heritage, but also the Creole language. It's unfortunate that St. Kitts and Nevis does not speak Creole, so even if même si je commence à parler créole, peut-être la pas très bien chez moun qui fait comprendre moi, surtout yote Josette Nisi. If I spoke Creole, many persons wouldn't understand what I was saying in St. Kitts. Perhaps in Dominica and other Caribbean islands who
Yes.
share a similar Creole would have been able to. But the entire thrust was really and truly to ensure that Creole heritage and Creole language remain preserved and centered. So the advantage was to speak Creole, to live Creole, and to celebrate Creole livelihoods. And our first celebration of Journée Creole began in 1984 in the community of Monrepo in St. Lucia, and it continued to go from there. So we've entered our 30th year since the first hosting of Journée Creole in the community began in 1984. The movement began 1 year prior via a radio program and has continued to date. And we've since expanded from the celebration of one day to an entire month of activities. This year's celebration is centered on our theme, Kiltise Jerizo, which translates in English to culture heals. And we've had a number of activities centered on promoting culture, not just as a form of celebration, entertainment, and amusement, but as a source of education, social transformation, peace, and health and well-being. We've had walks for culture, we've had violin festivals celebrating traditional music, we've had discussions. One of our discussions took place yesterday on the Creole language and how we should go about really improving our advancement of it. We looked at areas of discrimination that persons still face in the speaking of Creole, and we continue our advocacy and lobbying throughout the month. On one of our signature activities that came out this year, for example, was a celebration we call Festejoui, which means in Creole, Festival of Games. So we would play a lot of traditional games throughout the community where persons came out, where there was music, song and dance, but most importantly, unity among members of our community.
Nice.
All right, so Caribbean Connections is all about bringing people together, and over the years, how has the festival reached larger groups and persons living outside of St. Lucia?
Well, the diaspora is a major supporter of Journée Creole, as well as members of the Francophone Caribbean, whether it is Martinique, Dominica, and other spaces who actually come out. And it's really been able to pull persons to really be able to appreciate what they've been missing at home. We've also had a number of virtual engagements and activities where, although persons may not be able to physically experience the culture, they might be able to tune into a lot of the sessions online and participate as well. And I'm sure St. Kitts and Nevis citizens can do the same even this weekend, where some of our programming, like our Creole Mass,
All right, that signal seems to have been lost. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we apologize. Oh, yes, now we can hear you. Yes, please continue.
So there was a call coming in. As you rightfully know, it's an extremely hectic time. So a lot of people are trying to reach out for interviews to speak. And I'm sure you might be able to hear music in my background. I just came from a secondary school, and secondary schools throughout the island right now are having Creole celebrations.
Okay.
There might be St. Lucians who are on their way back to St. Lucia, back home for Creole Heritage Month, because it is truly the biggest national cultural celebration that brings together St. Lucians from all walks of life back home. So at this time, you'd find a lot more persons traveling. Flights might be booked to try to come to St. Lucia to celebrate Moi Heritage Creole, and most importantly, Journée Creole on this Sunday.
Nice. One of the main focuses of Creole Day and the festival is to highlight and preserve the Creole language. What is the history behind the language, and why is it important to preserve it, and how is the preservation process of the language going?
The history behind the language, like many of our traditions in the Caribbean, is the fact that you have people who were forced to come into the region, who now have to try to survive in colonial circumstances, in a situation of enslavement. And we have a number of language groups, persons from the African continent, the Iw, the Fon, the Mandinka people, whose languages impact the way in which we speak. We know that we've had colonizing nations like the United Kingdom and also France, impacting the vocabulary of the language, but the syntax, its structure, is African in its base. And so the survival of the language is a form of resistance, it is a form of identity, and it's also a form of preserving who you are. There are a lot of words that are not necessarily taken from the French vocabulary, but tell a story of where persons are from. For example, we refer to pigeon peas as point en gaule in St. Lucia. But if you translate what point en gaule is, it literally means Angolan peas. So that in itself tells you a trace of history of where it is we come from. Now, in preserving the language, an orthography system has been developed where there is a system called Sonorama that teaches how to read and to spell the language. However, the barriers to really integrating the language into who we are as a people are still present, although the government has made pronouncements of wanting to make Creole a national language. So far in the Caribbean, Haiti is the only Caribbean country that has Creole as an official language, and it's our aim as an organization to ensure that that actually happens. We have continued to preserve the language in terms of instruction, um, advocacy at the policy level, ensuring that we go into communities to preserve documentaries in Creole, ensuring we record Creole speakers as well. It's unfortunate, and most of your listeners may not know, but in 2018, a lot of our audiovisual documents were destroyed by fire in 2018. So we are currently in a rebuilding process of getting a lot more of the 40 plus years of history that we have recorded as an organization on St. Lucian history, St. Lucian culture, folklore, traditional celebrations, traditional cultures, and a number of other things.
Right.
We do a lot of writing as well. One of our publications that came out this month was a book called Creole, Lisson et Chanson Creole, which is a Creole hymn book. So you have Creole hymns, Bible verses in Creole. We also have our national anthem in Creole. So these are all part and parcel of the work that the Folk Research Center advocates in doing, in creating productions that do accurate translations of the language, advocating for Creole in our news, in our media, in our schools, and Creole preservation in general.
Well, you're doing a lot of work and a lot of meaningful work and sharing a lot of information with our viewers, so we thank you for that. We'll be back to continue this discussion in a moment. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Caribbean Connections continues from St. Lucia with Ms. Raisa Joseph, the director of the Folk Research Center. Raisa, can you tell us what are some of the activities being held to celebrate Journée Creole at St. Lucia?
Okay. Well, we've had an entire month full of celebrations. Earlier on, I mentioned there was a Walk for Culture. There was a Festiviola, which was a violin festival. There was also a festival of games called Feste Jouer. We had an activity yesterday called Kosit Coming to discuss the Creole language in different communities. And we also have special productions that we're working on as an organization to document critical aspects of our history, among them to document traditional musicians in the playing of the violin, violon, a Creole. We also have ones on traditional medicine in St. Lucia and the Creole language, Creole Sierra. Today, mostly every institution in St. Lucia is having a form of Creole celebration, whether it is a lunch, whether it's a Creole assembly. During the weekend, we will have Creole masses. A number of masses will be done in Creole. The hymns will be sung in Creole. And nationally, persons will go out to the host communities. Every year, there are host communities who display different unique aspects of the community and their heritage. And persons from throughout the island and the diaspora and visitors as well will go to these communities. This year, it will be held in Choiseul and in our capital, Castries, in the central part of the city. And we have a number of local performances, solo groups. We have traditional drumming. We have displays of sewing, craft making, with thatch huts, basket weaving. A number of things will be out in display in the various communities. And outside of these host communities as well, all communities are having their own celebrations as well. So it really is a national celebration.
Nice.
Raisa, you mentioned that you were just outside of a school. The question that I have for you is, apart from everything else that you've discussed, is there something specific that is being done to educate the younger generations about Creole and sustaining the culture?
Well, the first is to incorporate more of Creole teaching formally in schools. That is not done at the national level as yet. However, there are elements that are infused in terms of other aspects of our heritage, such as our flower festivals and teaching of students, and ensuring that in terms of government policy and the formation of the teaching of St. Lucian history, that Creole forms a big part of that education and first. We do go out to schools, and schools themselves also have various initiatives that they engage in. I recently was a judge on Wednesday at a pageant called Jeunesse Creole, so youth in Creole, where it was done fully in Creole. Students were able to express themselves, display national dress, and also perform talents fully in Creole. The St. Joseph's Convent hosted that, and a number of schools also have activities like that. They have various cultural practitioners who go out to schools, particularly during the month of October, to do a range of displays, whether it's moko jumbies, whether it's masquerade elements, whether it is traditional drum groups. They have a range of them coming into the schools to teach the children about storytelling, about tying our traditional head wrap, our tetma. A number of things happen where practitioners go into the schools, and this is happening throughout the month, and especially in the final week of October where persons come in. But outside of that, we as an organization continue to facilitate school tours, to advocate for Creole literature in schools, and to lobby as many organizations as possible, particularly government and private sector entities, to support our work as an NGO, because culture is truly all of our responsibility, because it's our collective heritage.
Well, Raisa, I'm a foodie. So you gotta tell me, what are some of the cuisines and delectable dishes people can expect at Journey Creole?
There are a lot of Creole delicacies. We have the traditional green fig and saltfish. There is breadfruit and saltfish. There is a one pot we call bouillon, which is made with salted pig and pigtail. It is delicious. Anyone who has it will love it. There's also callaloo crab and dumpling in our one pot stew. We have avocado balls with farine. There are a range of things, and these are just the main courses. There are also a lot of Creole treats that persons will normally get, made with coconut, made with tamarind, made with local fruits, jams and jellies, confectionaries, a range of things. There are traditional wines made during this time too, and also rums. So when you come out, you can experience that, as well as locally stewed and prepared rabbit. We have crab, fish, a range of seafoods that persons will experience in St. Lucia that they will love, with our suskai, which is a mix of onion, garlic, and traditional. I cannot explain it. You know, you wish you had television test. You have to actually come to experience. So if you're thinking about St. Lucia, think about Maui Touch Creole and being in St. Lucia to experience a full Creole heritage celebration.
That's a good selling point, by the way. The fact that, we don't have smell-o-vision, so you have to come to St. Lucia. You're really good at marketing it, by the way.
Indeed,
Right,
Yeah, to taste it. Yeah, to taste it, to feel it, and very often when we market our islands, we say sun, sand, and sea. But to really
Yes.
experience any Caribbean islands, particularly St. Lucia, you have to feel the culture. You have to hear the music. You have to hear the people. You have to see how they prepare the food. You have to taste it for yourself to have a full experience. So we're inviting you to come, not just for enjoyment, for education and enrichment, so you can learn about who we are as a people as well.
Yes, indeed.
All right, I want to talk very briefly about the different wardrobes and dances that are part of the Creole culture. Can you share with us what these are and the importance of their symbolism?
Okay, so there are a range of dances, some of which are creolized dances that combine European dance with our own interpretation. There are African dances like the kutumba. We have the la comette. There are a range of dances. I cannot tell you all of them on television, but they represent the Creole society of persons engaging in a number of ways. And on our page, when St. Lucians and St. Vincent and the Grenadine citizens and anyone watching this program come to the Folk Research Center, they will learn more about it. But the whole point of dances and traditions really represents the evolution of a society where you have a group of people who are not included in the hierarchy or the formal echelons and deemed persons who are worthy. So they create their own steps, their own interpretations, their own workings of dance that often create a hybrid of what European dances will, but also combine their own African moves. So there are an indigenous group of Africans, particularly found in the PI region, which is the west coast of St. Lucia, who are Negjine, and they dance Kutumba. There are a range of dances and performances that they do during special occasions. They don't do it just for celebration, but it's part of ritual. So these two are part and parcel of the traditional dances that St. Lucians would do during this time and actually taught. So there's La Comette, there's Mulala. There are so many.
I hear you. I appreciate what you did, though, by whetting our appetites. Definitely so.
Indeed. Riza, who are some of the partnerships that help bring the festival and Jeune Creole together?
Okay, so I must say that our members, first and foremost, because Folk Research Center is a non-governmental organization, and we are a membership organization as well. So first and foremost, our volunteers who give a lot of their time voluntarily to the work that we do are critical. The government of St. Lucia also funds and finances a lot of our projects at the Folk Research Center. We also have other quasi-governmental organizations such as the Cultural Development Foundation, Events Company of St. Lucia, and St. Lucia National Trust, as well as some corporate partners who continue to assist us, like the St. Lucia Electricity Company, Lucelec, and other partners who come on board. But we also always need more support because the work of cultural development requires a lot of input, a lot of resources to make sure that we document and we preserve and we mobilize for future generations.
Well, it's been our pleasure. I know that you're a very busy lady, so I won't keep you anymore, but we thank you for taking the time to talk to us all about this important festival and share with us about your work in preserving the culture. It's been our pleasure, Raisa.
Our pleasure indeed.
Thank you so much for having me, and I just want to remind your viewers and listeners to follow the Folk Research Center on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also to remember the theme for Moi Heritage Creole Heritage Month in St. Lucia is Kiltise Jerizo, Culture Heals.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
More GMS SKN in a moment. Stay tuned.
I going out tonight. I got a hot date. He older than me, but I don't care. I like what he telling me. He say I look sweet and ting. What? You want me go home with him? Nice. Boy, I wonder if I'm ready for this. I notice he ain't got a condom, but I gonna go ahead, see? He might think me ain't like him or trust him. Plus, this my first time. Nothing gonna happen to me. Lord, how could I let this happen? I ain't ready for no child. Who can support me and my child? My man gone jail and mommy and daddy said they ain't gonna help. I all on my own. How could I be so careless? I wish I could go back to that now. But my education on hold. How could I let this happen? Don't let this happen to you. Contact the Department of Gender Affairs to find out about confidential offices and personnel available to answer questions about your sexuality or pre- or postnatal concerns.
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children, settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes!
Mommy, uncle not here in the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami a come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. Let me run, see Sammy.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
There are some expressions that our parents, grandparents, and other people in the community drilled into our heads. It's Friday. Yes, yay indeed. So it's only customary for us to have some fun here at Good Morning SKN. Today we will be playing a fun game. Yeah, I don't think we get any points because I would have loved to beat Jamie today to regain my crown of Finish the Saying. Yes, you heard that correctly. Jamie and I will be testing just how much we listened to our parents and even grandparents. Oh, there goes the points bar.
They were there before, reminding us of what happened last time.
When they used old age witty expressions to impart wisdom. So, Jamie, how well do you think you will do at this game?
I never say that, so I'm not going to start. We're just going to play it and have fun.
Let the game begin.
Already you were violating the border. I see that so clearly. Yeah, you can see that. The guys at home can see that. People at work can see that. We expect you to do that. So, hey, it is what it is.
Indeed it is. Time will tell.
Time. I pressed the buzzer first.
I
so
did.
So is my point.
Can anybody look over that and see that I pressed the buzzer first?
No, you didn't. You started talking first, but I pressed the buzzer first.
But I
It is my point. Time will tell. It is my point.
Jamie is just trying to use all my tactics. Jamie, I pressed the buzzer first.
You did not. Oh my God.
I pressed the buzzer first.
That is not true. Thank you very much. Honesty is the best policy. Is that there as well?
But you see, that's not fair, Jamie's cheerleader is at the helm. I can't trust this. I cannot trust this. I cannot trust this. I need a referee.
Wow.
All right, the next one. I will get you. Jump on the bed.
Bandwagon.
Oh my gosh. I'm losing? No, this cannot be real. Jump on the bandwagon. I swore Jamie knew what the game was going to be, and he went to his grandma, and she gave him all the answers. Because I no longer have grandparents.
Or I just listened to her for 40 years. It's not really
See,
Which
those
one is
are
more
the
believable?
disadvantages of not having grands.
Honesty.
It's the best policy.
Love that it's there, by the way. Pretend you note that.
See, I said the rest. How about we share this point here? Oh man, this is rough around the edges, man. Okay. Let me warm up these paws so that I can press that buzzer like Flash Gordon. Oh my gosh, I know this. It's not angriness. Jealousy. I think it's jealousy. Jealousy breeds contempt. Jealousy breeds contempt. I thank you.
Envy.
Familiarity.
Well, we knew it was an E of some sort. Just couldn't remember what it was.
Yes, because you know it, but you could. Why do I still see prevention? Ounce. I said it before him, and I pressed my thing before him. I want to see that 0 change to a 1. I thank you.
Oh, is that
An
what you
ounce
did?
of prevention is better than cure.
It's the intimidatory tactic now. I see what's going on here. And you couldn't get that was you.
Because you didn't do that. You did this. I don't do this.
Yeah.
I literally floss. Literally. In slow-mo.
No. When you do it rapidly, it doesn't look like that.
I floss in slow-mo. Method. There's a method to his madness. She's coming.
Okay.
Look before you leap.
That was a tie, by the way. I would say that.
All right. He says it was a tie. All right.
9.
Shucks. All right. Oh man. Jamie listened to his grandma, boy. I don't think I had much saying. I had much lashes, but not much sayings. Yeah.
Straw.
The plastic or the paper. We can share the point.
No, we're not going to share this one. That's not how this works.
But I just mentioned the types of straw. I should have gotten half the point.
That's not the name of the game.
All right. Fair enough. Every cloud. Stand down. I got
said,
that.
No,
I
you
said
every,
it.
and I said cloud first.
No. I said cloud.
Wow. They said you pressed the buzzer first. You
But
said
I
every.
said cloud.
Okay.
Every cloud has a silver line. I said the entire thing. Play back, you will see.
I'm going to check the replay.
Yes, please do.
Tomorrow. When we do a segment on this.
Don't cry, I will spill milk.
What? What's going on here? Really? It says fit. How does that work? I say the word before.
No, I said the word.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't. You started reading.
But I said the
I said the
word.
word first.
No, this.
Wow.
I can't. Like taking candy from a baby. Okay, so I gotta say the word and not say all these things.
Wow.
Look at this, we tied.
No, we're not tied.
We
This
tied, we are.
I feel like I'm in the state of Georgia. I need a recount.
Oh my
Somebody
gosh.
gets this joke, right? Darkest.
Oh, shucks. I just couldn't. It's always darkest before dawn. That's true. Stick in the middle. I don't know.
Mud.
I said middle. Middle and mud rhymes somewhat. So
I'm sorry? In which world?
Middle mud.
In which world?
The song Stick in the Middle is actually a verse from a St. Lucian song. Or a Bayesian song, somebody's song. Let the good times roll. Let the something gets rolling. Let the water, I don't know. Let's get the ball rolling. Listen, I said it too, but I'm not gonna get the point. Oh well.
As a matter of fact, we should be deducting points.
Why?
That's actually what we should do in the interest of fairness.
Why?
Because, I don't know. Never mind. I learned what rhyming is, which it isn't. I'm seeing things that I'm not seeing. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Oh man. Time will tell.
Time. Which we already did anyway, and time definitely told that...
That I got 7 and you got 9?
No,
I'm
you
coming
can't
for you.
get 7 for that.
I got 7. I said time. Why
That was the
do
very
I not
first
see
one.
7?
Because you're not...
That was the first one?
Yes, it's Hortensia that I got. Can you look at those scores?
Okay.
Can you see those
It's
scores?
amazing. As I would normally say, congratulations and commiserations to me. I'm coming for you, Jamie, next time on Good Morning SKN, the game segments.
Wow. I think it's safe to say that I can let this go now. You know, even though I was owed 1 or 2 points from whatever was going on in the middle of this game. And you guys who are watching us, you know the drill, right? You know exactly how this goes. Slow and steady wins the race. That's how it goes. So we want to thank you for joining us today for another edition of GMSKN. Tune in daily where you'll find a little bit of everything for everyone. Hopefully you found that today.
Yes.
So tell your friends and family members to watch us, of course. And yeah, we're on Channel 4 locally.
Yes.
You can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook and YouTube at Studio 327 INC, that's Studio 327 Inc. We're also on Instagram at Good Morning SKN. And remember to like, subscribe, follow, and share. And please check out our website. Definitely, you should do that.
Yes.
www.studio327inc.com. That's where you'll learn more about us. If you have an idea, hey, email us even at info@studio327inc.com. Very easy to reach us, right? So use the hashtag GMSKN as well. Find our content. And Hortensia will tell you what else.
Leave us a comment and let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. Have a great weekend. See you on Monday at 8 a.m. when you will start your morning with us right here at Good Morning SKN, where I promise you I will beat Jamie. Yes, yes, yes. Thanks for watching as usual. Have yourselves once again a great weekend. Have a great day. Goodbye.